I'm a 34-year-old transgender woman from the Eastern Cape.
The interviewee shared her story using the pseudonym Asavela.
I had a great childhood, though I'm a trans woman. And most of the people in my family, they understood. My mom was always been so supportive of what I am, and my dad as well, and my siblings. Even at school, there were some that were understanding that there were some that didn't understand. And sometimes you'd get to places and then you get people, they would like start discriminating you. Even kids at some point, they would like laugh. Because, this is the most a boy. Why is he acting like a woman and all the stuff? But then I'll choose not to like reply because I know if once I reply, it would end up like being a physical fight. Obvious, it's not something good to hear. I wouldn't feel good at all, but through the support structure that I was having through friends and family, yeah, I got through it.
During her formative years, Asavela did not identify as a trans woman.
Not all the time I would be like with people that understand because some of people they didn't know about trans as well at that time. Same as I didn't identify myself as a transgender woman because at those days people weren't familiar with those words. When I was in Eastern Cape, I thought that I was gay. That's gay, that is feminine, dressing up as a woman and all the stuff. Only to come to Joburg and you learning there's a difference between a transgender and a gay person.
Asavela occasionally did sex work while living in the Eastern Cape. In the early 2000s, she moved to Johannesburg, where she worked full-time as a sex worker.
I left the Eastern Cape around 2003 and 4. Yeah, through a friend, because I had most friends that were older than me. That some of them they were based here in Joburg. They would come back and tell me about Joburg, and you would see that they were looking beautiful when they come from Joburg. Yeah, that's when I decided to come to Joburg. When I got to Joburg, I was doing sex work on the street, ne? And at night. I got introduced to a group of trans women that were into sex work. So they would like guide me, like showing me places where to go and park with clients and like which client to go with. But it was a bit scary but interesting as well. And at most cases, I was safe when I'm with them. And through sex work, then you would get that we are invited to some sort of like creative spaces by these other sex work organizations. And then we'd be taken through some trainings and then telling us about our gender and all the stuff. Okay, that's when I was like, okay, I'm not gay. Actually, I'm a transgender woman, which I'm so proud of. Like even if somebody asked me, what are you?
As a sex worker, Asavela had many interactions with the police.
Some of the girls that we were working with, they would be jealous, and then you get that maybe they are working with the cops, informing cops, go to, okay, now they went to this spot, and there's the spot that is like they work from. So sometimes they would get you in the act, and they would arrest you, knowing that they want the guy to pay to bribe. Sometimes they would ask for e-sex for them to release you, or sometimes they drive around with you. So on the cells, maybe we arrested 5 of us. If the cop wants you, he would like come and call you at the cells. They're saying that, okay, whether for you to go out, just give me a blowjob or I'm gonna release you in exchange of sex. Then I once did it, then I was like released. We knew that even if you see police car, you have to hide on the street because most of the time they're arresting. Or sometimes they would arrest you saying that it's loitering. And sometimes you wouldn't get like nice cops. Sometimes they would start making you a laughing stock about you at the police station. Because I still remember that another incident. They locked me up with men, knowing that I'm a trans woman. Was arrested there for a weekend. So I stayed like for the weekend with men. Lucky there was this guy that I knew. He was there, we were at the same cell. So it was like we were three of us. Then the other one, I'm sure they released him on Saturday or Sunday. So I was left with this one that I know. So since he knew me, there was no like harassment.
In a separate incident, Asavela recounts,
I think it was on a Friday. I was walking alone. I didn't even reach like where the girls are standing. The cop driving the van said, "Get inside." Then I started getting inside. He knew that I'm trans actually because they know. Because most of the cops that were working around there, they knew which girls are trans, which girls are what. He said, "Most, you know that we're arresting. And if you don't want to get arrested and you want to work freely, then we can go in." We just went to the park, we did it, then he went to drop me back. The first time I was arrested, it was in Benoni. I thought like we're gonna go to a women's jail, but there was no such. Then we were taken to a men's jail. Yeah, when we got there, the guys they started like stripping off the clothes. They were like left with underwears so that they can search them. The prison warders, they're like, okay, you trans people, you can come on the side. Then as we were taken to those other small rooms, then they searched us. They didn't like strip off our clothes. They were like touching on top of the clothes. It was a bit of a relief that I didn't have to take clothes like the other guys, like the guys that were stripping with underwear. The prison warders, they said, okay, we're gonna sleep on the single cells.
in prisons, single cells are used for a number of purposes, such as isolating a person who is being violent to others. In some instances, they are used as isolation cells to protect vulnerable prisoners, such as queer people, youths, and those who are at risk as a result of illness or age.
They took us to the single cells, but then when it comes to time for exercise, we are not mixed with the men. We'd like sit with the prison brothers. They were taking good care of us. And then there was this one specifically that had a drama with me. He was calling me names. So I ended up reporting him by the other prison warders. So they said I should go to their supervisor. Then I went to report it. Then they made me to write a statement. So they took it to the head of the prison.
Asavela did not learn the outcome of her complaint as she was released prior to its finalization.
I had to pay fine and then get suspended sentence. It was 5 years. But that 5 years it was long past. Whether you trans, I don't think prison is a good place to be for everybody. Because I think being in prison, you're being controlled on everything that you do.
Asavela says her experience of prison was less threatening than police custody.
I think the less threatening one, I would say it was the motor because like yeah, at the police station to start with, they put me with men. At Motepi, though there was this one specific prison that had a problem, but most of them at the section that they put me, I was treated well. In jails, they should give us sections that is strictly for gender non-conforming people, and then they need to sensitize the prison warders as well, because not all of them are the same. Inmates as well. I think even if like government should do like some sort of funding and funding people that are trans that maybe that can go and sensitize, because I think specifically it doesn't need anybody who is like heterosexual or whatever when it comes to sensitizing. It needs a trans person. Like right now, I'm a linkage officer. I work at a transgender clinic. What we do, we provide trans people with the whole clinical primary healthcare services and HRT, hormonal therapy replacement.
She still works as a sex worker to supplement her income. This story was produced as part of a collaboration between Just Attention International South Africa and Out Wellbeing.